Good day, race fans, and welcome to the Intentional Wreck Podcast. Podcast made by race fans for race fans, from the casuals to the lifelong gearheads. My name's Jeff. I'm here with Corey and Finn. We got Nick this week. He's got some family business going on, but we will carry through. For a little housekeeping, you can catch us on YouTube and Spotify and your other favorite audio platforms under the name Intentional Wreck. You can also find us on Twitch, and be sure to check out our website, itwreckpod.com, and join up on our Discord server so you can chat with us, talk about racing, and join the IWP Racing League, which has been gaining steam. And as we roll into NASCAR 26 and the newest game, you do not want to miss out on all of the things that we've got planned for the next few seasons. Be sure you check that out. All that being said, we're rolling in off another banger from Atlanta, and that just seems to be par for the course coming off of Echo Park Speedway. Before we get into the race, though, how are you fellas doing?
Oh, just dandy. Just dandy. Busy, man.
I'm recovering.
Just every day busy.
Yep. You got the baby. I'm moving. I got sick as hell. I think it's coming from this house to that house and dirt from just different environments,
Yeah.
Love Island's done. So, I don't even know what to do with my evenings anymore now that Love Island is done. Yeah.
Find a good television show and watch it.
Well, we're on House of Dragon. And I need to get back to reading. I really had a strong stint with the books, took a break with all this, home ownership that I've been trying to manage. I think I got a cool new fantasy starting up tomorrow. It's called How to Get Your Pool Clean 101. So now we're live and she has to run through the scan.
Now we're live.
Impeccable timing.
She's good.
She's got to grab baby formula.
Oh,
That sounds like an enthralling book, Finn.
hey.
So. Cameo.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm super excited. I'm learning all about pH balancing and chlorine stabilizer, and I have no idea what I'm doing. So I told my wife, I said, if I haven't figured it out by Monday, I'm going to hire a real man to clean the pool.
You're going to hire a pool boy?
Yeah.
Nice.
If my marriage can't survive that, then it can't survive anything. So hire the pool boy. I kid. But I've passed the sickness off to my wife, so she is currently in sinus pressure hell. But
down with the sickness.
Down with the sickness.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Book-wise, I don't know if either of you guys have delved into Dungeon Crawler Carl. I finished the first book just recently.
Ooh,
and it was.
I'm on book 2.
Yeah.
I'm on book 2, by the way. It's a fun one.
I'm on the fence with this one, right? Because I've got a couple others that I want to read.
Okay.
But with DCC, I like it, but being somebody who has delved into RPGs and D&D and other things, the only thing that gets me is that I'm kind of all right, so it's here's this way that you wrote a other people friendly RPG story. Is it going to be a lot of the same, or are we going to expand this in a way that's going to be meaningful, that you're going to capture experienced as well as non-experienced audiences? So I'm just kind of, I'm on the fence with that. I've got a couple other things. I took another break to read one of my favorite authors' books that I had been meaning to for a while, but I think I may dive back in. But
I always try to give a series 3 books.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll give you 3 books, especially one that comes out swinging, like Dungeon Crawler Carl's first book. So that's my philosophy. I did finish the 3rd book in a series I was reading called the Sun Eater series, and I put it down. I put it down. Nothing against it.
Corey, have you delved into DCC at all?
Dude, read a book. You know when was the last time?
No. What I will tell you is that I highly recommend you do the audiobook because it's an award-winning performance.
Let's bring this back to the topic at hand here. Corey, 6 years ago, watched NASCAR? Dude, no way.
Nah,
so look at us now.
Nah. Yeah, I'm saying.
Way different.
Dude, but again, I'm telling you.
So if you look, hold on, I'll turn my blur off real quick. Just for the
unveiling of Corey's.
Yeah.
All right. Change background. All right.
Gets rid of the Girls Gone Wild filter.
So
there you go.
There's a whole bookcase back there, right in this region, with the complete works of Tom Clancy.
Hey,
If I was going to read something, it would come right off of that bookcase, and I ain't ever gonna read it, even though I own all of them.
do you get the Splinter
So-
Cells?
Yes.
Hell yeah, big fan of the Splinter Cell series. So
Just saying, man, the audiobook for it, it's like award winning. Like it's people will tell you like do audiobook for DCC instead of in lieu of the other book because it's like a award winning narration and stuff. So
did you know it's all the same guy? Every voice?
yeah.
Yeah.
And he does an amazing job. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't actually like
catch that.
Eyes to words that book. That was all audiobook and I'm glad I did it. So.
Hey, tune in 2 years will be a book podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll have
the
a
NASCAR podcast.
and the NASCAR league.
Join the Discord for our book club.
NASCAR league's going away. Book club inbound. I couldn't imagine Meatball.
NASCAR book club. Here we go.
I couldn't imagine Meatball for 2 seconds reading a book. All right, here's your first question of the day. Which IWP member, not in this chat, in this group, by the way, shout out Nick. He's been reading some books too. Which one is most likely to be a reader? Who do you think? Out of our group of guys on the IWP. First of all, I don't know if any of the Kansas guys can read. So I think that gets rid of half the league.
You don't need to read to drive fast.
Dilly has a master's degree, so
not Dilly. It's not. I'm not taking shots at Dilly. That's the low hanging
not
fruit.
a fiction. By the way, not fiction, not nonfiction. Fiction.
I'm gonna say Bumblebee.
Bumblebee.
Because it's like trendy right now.
Oh, because reading a book is trendy, and he's a Gen Z.
Yes.
He's too busy doom scrolling on TikTok to be a reader.
Yeah.
I feel like one of the older guys. You know what I mean? Some of them guys that are around before the internet. You know what I mean?
Dude, the thing is, on every couple years, a day will strike me, and it'll be like it's snowing outside, and I've got a glass of whiskey in my hand, and I'll like rip through a book in a day and a half. It happens every now. I've read in my life maybe 5 books of my own like enjoyment, maybe.
Yeah.
And they've all been Tom Clancy and Dan Brown, every single one.
I like Dan Brown, by the way.
I like the Robert Langford or Langdon stuff.
Right. I'm with you.
Yeah, that's fine. I've
Those are
read
hard books.
Digital Fortress and a couple of them that aren't like
They have chapters.
a hard book.
They're tough books. They got chapters. Listen,
a hard book. It's a chapter book. Like, bro, I can read. I understand how to read. I just don't enjoy it.
Bobby Lee Swagger.
I don't enjoy it.
Kyle, they posted some pictures into the Discord, and he looks like the kind of guy who would read a smut book just so he can talk to women. So I'm gonna go Bobby Lee Swagger. He seems like the kind of guy who would read a book, but only because it's a trendy book so that he could talk to women. I don't know anything about him other than that picture in his iRacing or his NASCAR 25 racing. My other vote would be like JJ Franken because there's literally nothing else to do in Iowa. And he's like got a doctorate, so he has to be kind of well read. So there's my votes.
I would have said Bryce.
Bryce? No shot, Bryce. Yeah. Bryce can't read. Bryce can't read, dude. And I know for a fact Tyler Bowling, Dense Fog, has read a book lately, so he would be a reader too. So all right, there's your intro section of the pod.
I was gonna say, man, we legit went in for like 10 minutes on that one.
Fuck.
So.
Hey, that's what the boys are here for. Okay, listen,
it's no wonder the numbers are climbing right now.
I feel like there's a difference between podcast, and I don't know what this other category is, where it's like radio show, where things have to be like in order. Like a podcast, it feels like you press start and you let it take you where it takes you. And now we have a general topic, so we'll come back home. But I think it's okay. I think that ends up being some of our best sections.
Corey, what was writing music like with this guy? Because if that's his philosophy,
writing music was really
Freebird
easy.
Bullshit songs did y'all come up with?
Hey, writing music was super easy. Making sure Finn had the lyrics done by the time he actually stepped into the vocal booth was the challenging part. he'd very often be writing down lyrics as we were recording the instrumental of the song. Which I
So,
mean, hey, everybody's got their process. I'm not mad at him, but like that was writing the music was easy. It was just Finn wrote Finn's part all by himself every single time.
I'm just imagining like y'all sitting there like kind of trying to come up with some compositions. Finn's like, "Hey man, it's gonna go where it's gonna go." All right.
Okay.
You just let that ride for a few more bars.
So,
and get going.
so
and
we-
no solos.
Fourth and one always showed up with a full demo, so that always helped. We never went to a recording weekend without knowing what the song sounded like from start to finish. Now, Will was our producer out in Richmond, fantastic producer. To this day, I have not had a music producer as good as him. He would make slight adjustments, but for the most part, structure remained the same. 99% of the time, I would have a first verse and a chorus written. My biggest issue was second verses. Normally, I kind of got everything I wanted to say done with the first verse and the chorus, and then second verse comes around, and I'm like, am I just supposed to rephrase this? I don't really know. And it all depended on the structure of the song. So that's what Corey's kind of talking about. There was a lot of, I would get there. We would always do drums and drums the first day over the demo, bass and guitars day 2, and then vocals was day 3. So really, I had 2 days of them writing, and as they figured out structure, that really helped me go, okay, that's what I got. And I normally have a night in a hotel to write out the final piece. So, but yes, there was a lot of wing it involved. But I think those are some of the best parts. Corey, listen, self brag here, but Corey had mentioned before, he goes, you can write the fuck out of a bridge. And 99% of our bridges were written on the spot. So sometimes you got to yeet it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes you got to go with,
Hey, I still put those on every now and then.
hey, listen,
I can't still play them. I guarantee you that. I have no idea how to play them.
I can play show and tell and Give Me All You Got, but that's because I wrote the instruments for Give Me All You Got. But Take Time has been my banger.
Open up Spotify, press play. I can play them all.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so Atlanta happened. That
was 25 minutes, bro.
14 minutes and 53 seconds. So, all right, we are back on the topic. We're wrapped in. So,
banger.
Yeah, I think I like this one. Considering I had to rewatch the ending because I was on NyQuil, dying of a sinus headache. But
I've yet to run into an Echo Park race that I didn't really like. I mean, it is few and far between over the last 4 years or so that they have not been solid.
Yeah, this one and it started a little bit with the last one, and now we're getting to a piece where we don't really know how it's going to race on race day in a good way. You know, in this race, we saw the 3 Penske cars get up front and kind of take off a bit, and it was like, wait a minute, this doesn't really feel like a draft track. This looks a little bit like Michigan. You know what I mean? It looks a lot like the fast cars can find momentum and get past people without needing a pusher, and that was pretty incredible. Watching like Tyler Reddick drive from damn near the back of the pack to second in that first stage, like that's cool to me. Like it wasn't like he got stuck and couldn't get by a too wide drafting track where nobody can gain momentum, so we're just kind of stuck riding around, right? I saw Kyle Larson move up in 3 and 4 and kind of use a high lane. Like all of a sudden now we're getting some momentum. So it's like we're like halfway between Michigan momentum racing and draft track and plate racing, and that is great because you know what I didn't see one fucking time all race, fellas? Fuel saving.
No,
I didn't see any of that.
Well,
bullshit.
they also knew there was weather coming.
I was going to say the weather played a role in that, but yeah. You're right.
Right. There was no, we have to start, and they ran the full length. So like even when it came up and they were like running it late, like there wasn't this, we're going to tuck back at 60%, drive around. We saw tires matter very late in that race. SVG and a group of guys came down, put on right sides, and then I see SVG hard charging through the middle, to get up there to finish 6 and almost found a way to get into the top 5. Eric Jones was a guy in that group that got to the top 5. It was really cool to kind of see that. And finally, my mass made note of what made it a good race. And Corey's going to be like, what? Ryan Blaney? Ryan Blaney had the fastest car. in the fastest car didn't need help to win that race. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? He went out there and he was passing. And yes, somebody would get a little bit of momentum and pass him. But it finally felt like, yo, whoever brought the best engine today ripped it, and he had
So
that combo.
I am with you on that. I mean, there's no denying that, especially considering the result in every stage and where everything was. But also my point about like one of the things that makes the track good in the current iteration with the current package and the current car, but it was on display fully in this race. I mean, the runs that some of these guys were getting and the display of full send racing that we got right off the break
Yeah.
was fantastic. But one of the things that I couldn't keep my eyes off of was the battles between the 77 and the 23 behind the 12
Mm-hmm.
and watching like a lot of the just interchangeability through the middle of the pack. And when I say like the full send racing, I mean, Hocevar was like one of the biggest culprits of this is how many guys did you see run into the outside until the tiniest smidgen of a window open for them to drop down, and they just I mean, full length of the track all the way down to the bottom line in an
Bubba
attempt
tried
to
it.
get a run. What's
Bubba
that?
tried it and ended up getting spun by Ty Gibbs.
Yeah, what I mean, my goodness, what, and we'll get into that here in a few minutes. I
Right.
mean, my God,
And
that
it was also pretty cool with that, because normally what you'll see is like they'll make that move, right? Like let's go to a Michigan, right? Where somebody will make that move and then like they just don't get enough pull on the bottom of the racetrack to clear, so then they just like get dropped. Like I call it the Alex Bowman special, where he's like, I get a run, I'm gonna go low, and it's like, hey Alex, you know why nobody else is doing this? Because you're not gonna clear them, and you're just gonna get passed by the 5 cars behind you now, and that's what
Yeah.
would happen. Whereas here, it really felt like because it was full throttle on the bottom, you're getting the most of taking the short way around the track on the bottom lane. And you were able to kind of keep that speed. Yes, you could get a run, but if you did it right, because of how small the track is, you'd end up having to get pushed or, kind of that jockey back and forth. So that's a good point in that regard. Another thing too is it was plate racing, but because power and like drafting mattered, but because power and handling mattered as well, we didn't see scenarios where like shitty cars were able to go up there and right up front like you would at a Daytona or Talladega. You know what I mean? We saw we saw cars that were underpowered. Like, I mean, shit, Buescher went a lap down in this race early in stage 1, I'm pretty sure. The 34 and Noah Gragson, those guys all ended up going a lap down. Now, of course, Alex Bowman find a way to give the in-season tournament to David or to Todd Gilliland, so he moves on over Bowman. So 32 seed dreams broken, but that it feels good to be like, yes, finally, it's not like oh no, Harrison Burton might win this race. It's like, no, you still have to bring power, you still have to bring handling, and you have to find the balance between that.
Yeah, there was not a bunch of shitters hanging out in the front the
Right.
whole night. I mean, honestly, there was none, really. I mean, not that I can think of.
No.
But
Outside of the tires, it was the tires late that brought, and I'm not calling them shitters, but that brought Jones back to the front, that brought SVG back to the front, and then that brought Austin Dillon was also up there as well. Okay, handling. You took the tires. Oh shit, tires matter here. I'm on it.
no, it's a great like unique track. There's nothing else quite like it on the circuit. I mean, that's what the whole sport is kind of about, is having the versatility to go and do a bunch of different things, and this is definitely a unique style of racing. It's really, really cool. I mean, it has yet to produce a race that wasn't an absolute banger since I've been watching NASCAR.
Yeah.
It's just been solid. And, you're getting 3, 4 wide and guys all over the place taking different lines, and the restarts are cool, and like there's speed all over the place, and it's just fun to watch. I mean, there's not a whole lot else to it. And when you stack the imminent threat of, we have no idea what's going to happen with the weather on top of all of that, it just cranks the chaos up to 11, and they have no choice but to just go in there and completely send it.
Yeah.
And they did for the whole time up until the red. I watched the extended highlights on YouTube of everything after, because everything after the red, because I have, to get up early in the morning for work, so I don't stay up late. I think the race restarted at like 11:30.
Yeah.
Like I was asleep for 3 hours when
Yeah.
that thing started back up again. So but I mean, the start of the race was awesome right up until the red. It was really, really good. And from what I could tell, it was tight right to the very end. I think that, obviously I'm sitting here watching the highlights and Briscoe's creeping to the front, and then just gets wrecked and finishes 36th. So that sucks. But no, it was a banger, man. Seriously, like they could run that place 3 times a year and I'd be okay with it.
I think one of the things that makes it, or one of the things that I find interesting, to your point, Finn, with the way that like the cars are running and the way that like you generally the fastest car makes its way to the front and stays there on like a lot of the typical drafting tracks, is that you tend to run into a little bit more of it's drag cutting, aero drafting with less bump drafting. It's not that anybody's not nudging, right? Especially Ty Gibbs definitely didn't get that memo, but it's a lot less of the bump draft type of stuff that you're seeing at the super speedways, so much as you're watching guys really trying to take that drag down. And you're seeing a lot more of like, let me try and find the right way to get outside of dirty air, or to try and find ways to get air moving around your car in the proper way, as opposed to I'm getting into this one pack in this line to accomplish that goal while also taking a nudge to enhance a run, rather than, guys are independently getting runs off of drafting off the back of somebody's rather than the other way around. So and the other thing is there's not enough track for everything to just stay in the same line over, consistently freight train all the way around the track. You run out of track before that can really happen. It's kind of like get your speed and then go. Get your speed and then go. It's like find your run and then make your move.
Yeah.
And it makes it very compelling.
Yeah. No, I agree. That was, again, definitely more enjoyable than anything we've seen at Talladega or Daytona this year. And we felt that way about the other race, but it was cool. It was cool watching it and going, I don't know what's going to happen here. It very much put me in the same lane as when Bristol had the tire wear. And you're like, I have no idea.
Yeah, just have no idea.
I have no idea what's happening
that's
here.
That's actually a pretty good comp, I feel like for
what
a non
I don't know.
similar track.
I'm just seeing like those like the Penske guys got up there immediately in stage one and kind of really put a lot of distance, and I was like, oh fuck, okay, well, all right, that's they're gone, and they're taking off, and felt like they had a lot of speed because they qualified well. And then I'm watching Reddick go through, and I'm like, okay, cool. Reddick's working his way through the field, sick. And then Reddick's second, and I'm like, wait. Reddick's just passed. All right, I expected Reddick to pass a bunch of cars because he's in the fastest car in the field. Cool. Or he's one of the fastest cars in the field. Toyotas are great. But, like, you feel like they get up to fifth, and then they kind of stall out, right? But nope. Walks down Larson. Walks down Cindric. Walks down Logano. And then I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like, it felt cool to be like, yay, fast car, go fast. Not fast car, need help, go fast. Fast car, go fast. Doesn't need a lot of help. We can use that momentum and use the different lines. And that's cool. If the more of these one-offs that we have that aren't also one-off races, right? Like, it's a one-off track where people have to go, well, I have to give a shit about Atlanta because it's 2 races on the schedule. We've got to figure out how to be fast there. Right? Because either you ride up front or you ride in the middle where it's fucking dangerous. Last episode, Corey, me and you went through everybody in the 11 to about 20 range, and we talked about what do these guys have to do to be in the right position. And I was very impressed with SVG and Eric Jones nailing 5th and 6th place in this race. Shane gave himself, he's got a 23-point buffer to Eric Jones, and Eric Jones has got less than 10 points to Joey Logano. So if Eric gets caught up in one of those wrecks and Logano finishes where he did, which I believe was in the top 10, he's out. So, like, those are 2 guys that we said needed great races at this track because now they're going to North Wilkesboro next week, and they get to qualify late. Now, Eric Jones doesn't have that short track speed, but SVG qualified on pole for the All-Star Open when we went to New Hampshire or North Wilkesboro the first time. Now, granted, different package, But
Sure.
Walking away from that, and then you look at like a Bubba who, with this penalty, he's now in a little bit of a dangerous scenario. He's only got
I do think that penalty's getting rescinded though.
really.
I think so.
So
I mean, he didn't really advance, and like he wasn't all the way across the line. And the rule is you have to be all the way over the line, right?
no,
All 4 tires.
No,
rule is below it at all.
that's general racing limits
Oh,
for
at
a lot of
all.
series. Yeah, because the point I was going to bring up about that, because I mean we could definitely get into that part now. What got me about that is I'm a little bit conflicted, because if you go back to past episodes on this show, going back to last season, I was strongly arguing in the sense that they gave Joey Logano a suspension. I believe it was at Phoenix last year,
Yeah.
because he went and he wasn't very far over the line, but he was making a move while touching the line, and the rule itself generally says that you're not supposed to get down below that line at all, and they gave the suspension. And my position on that ends up, for consistency's sake, it sucks, because I want to see Bubba win as much as anybody else. I mean, he's pretty much my second favorite driver above anywhere else, so I'm always rooting for him when I'm not watching 11. So in any case, like, I would have any reason to attempt to try and say like, oh, like it's not there. I wouldn't be mad if it was taken away, but for consistency's sake and objectivity, like I can understand if it holds up, because what happens when another driver tries to, like, push those boundaries as well. I can understand where you're coming from on that, Corey, though. Like, the thing is there is a dispute on whether or not he was actually making a pass or if he was getting out of the way when it happened.
Right.
But at the same time, I mean, if the rule is stay above the line, and you're getting down below the line, and you start making, you start questioning that, I mean, what happens? So I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it holds up, and I could understand if it did. But it would also be kind of cool if you didn't. That's kind of where I stand on it. So.
I recall a Regan Smith race many, many years ago where a guy went, I think Regan got his win reversed, I think, because he got forced below the line. I think this was a Tony Stewart versus, I can't remember, this is 2008, I think. Can't remember who won the race as a result. But pretty much, unless somebody is actively pushing you down or blocks you down low the line, or you're avoiding a spinning car, they're not going to give it to you. That's just kind of been something in the history of NASCAR. And it's one of those, like, I hate the vagueness of it, because it is like to advance your position. It's like, okay, well, what happens if he didn't advance his position? Right? He went 3 wide, but what if he was third place when he made the move, and then he was third place when it was over, right? And at a track like this, it's tough. I don't know. I think it's just one of those they have to stand put, because the more you start adding in leniency and stuff like that to something, then you're going to have a scenario where people call foul whenever a certain Chase Elliott benefits from that rule. You know what I mean?
And he would.
So,
because the other thing that I'm into with that is that there were a few different points throughout that race where the 77 was really flirting with that point too. It was just not on the last lap of the race that you were running into that, because the amount of times that Carson Osavar was sitting somewhere between, second and fifth, and he was making moves to advance up to the front, and he was on the outside line, and then cuts down and then tries to get around. There's not a chance that he spent the entirety of that race without his wheels touching the line or, mildly crossing over. And I think that's one of the points that you kind of have to look over, where you say, okay, if we're going to do this to one guy, are we going to do this to another? Are we going to look at everybody? What are we going to, how are we going to rule it?
Right. And I think you could touch. I just don't think you can go below the line.
Right.
There's a paint, and where you do it. But
it's a matter of degree. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's just so dangerous, and the reason why, Corey, is just like somebody goes below it on the banking, especially a place like Atlanta, you're gonna wreck the field.
Oh, I know. I know what happens when people try to make passes below the yellow line. Well aware.
Top gun.
Are you seriously throwing jabs right now, or were you just was that just off the cuff?
That was off the cuff. I wasn't really throwing a jab.
Oh, okay. I was just checking. I'm like, wait,
No,
is he
no,
like
I
making
wasn't.
fun of me right now?
I wasn't
'Cause-
making fun. No, I was just saying like history of NASCAR type deal. But
yeah, all right. Because we're now 35 races into the IWP or something like that, and I still don't have a dub. So
you'll get one. You will get one.
yeah,
and
maybe
it will
someday.
be glorious. He's just gonna post his nudes to the chat as soon as he wins. And fuck you.
There will be IRL celebrations when
Has
Corey
anyone
actually
heard from
wins.
Top Gun? I haven't seen him in a race in a while.
It's been busy. I took my wife to Outback to celebrate a my only top Madden Super Bowl win, by the way. My wife had no idea why I was like taking her out to Outback. She was like, why are we going out? And I was like, babe, just
Trust
enjoy.
me, you don't want to know.
Just
the
enjoy.
mystery is better left unsaid.
Just
Let's
enjoy.
Just enjoy this steak.
Bloomin' onion. Stop asking questions.
Right.
I had never
It's-
listen. Top moment, dude. I've been in that league 15 years. I have one championship. That shit's tough. But no. I thought it was good. I thought it was a really solid race weekend. Sucks to be a Bowman fan, but it always sucks to be a Bowman fan.
Going on 2 years of it being
Yeah.
Bad.
pretty
Sucky.
rough on
Something
the
rough.
Bowman-ness of it all.
But in the championship scope, you got Logano, who's less than 10 points from the cut line, and now it's almost a 30-point gap to Priest. Keselowski had a bad day, Ross. So right now, it really looks like Logano is the only one who can fight for a spot in, and Bubba on back really seems. So that's Bubba, Cindric, SVG, and Eric Jones.
Yeah.
Please, oh God, keep that man out of the playoffs.
Dude, I'm telling you, Logano's getting in.
He's got 3 DNFs. He's not
Logano's good.
particularly good at the tracks that are coming up next. So
Well, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, one win vaults him up. I mean,
Well, I mean, yeah, that would
you will
certainly
get-
help.
but that's so out of everybody that's in that like block,
mhm.
like beyond 16, like I would say from about 17 back to about 25. I mean, if there's anybody on that list that is at the top that would find a way to squeak a win out somewhere, it'll be Logano. They'll find a way to dial him.
Or Priest, because we have Priest to me is the wild card because we have 4 of the last 6 races of short tracks.
Well, it's 1-2, right? I mean, that's the thing is that those are the 1-2 because when you go and look down that, like, I mean, Brad K mysteriously finds something somewhere, but he's definitely not in the top echelon of that. Ross Chastain has just been bleh,
Yeah,
for the majority of this
everybody else
season.
is fairly gross. Other than
Right.
you got Zane Smith down there who's had some speed. We talked about him a little bit last week, but like
Yeah.
to me, the only 18 and up are at this point to me really the only ones who have a whole lot of a chance to actually make it. And I think if I'm SVG and I'm Austin, like I think Cindric is in. I think you're probably looking at Cindric and Logano in, and maybe SVG, but like Cindric, Logano, Priest in, and then SVG and Eric Jones out. I could see that happening.
Yeah, so Logano finished second in the All-Star race at North Wilkesboro, but that was also like, if I recall, wasn't that like the red, yellow tire thing? Like they had a different tire compound, and
Wasn't it also the first race back there? And doesn't he
Yeah,
infamous for
always
just
win.
all playing at new tracks?
right, he had a top 10 at Iowa. Obviously, that's a decent track. How did they do at Richmond last year? Daytona, obviously, and he's 4th at Richmond last year. So there are a couple of really good Joey Logano tracks.
Yeah.
So really, I think Shane has got to find a way to outperform Eric Jones. And unfortunate for Eric Jones, I don't think really he's any better at short track racing than SVG is. So there's a
Right.
Daytona
That's just
race.
kind of, yeah.
So-
Daytona and Indy obviously are the X factors, but when your 4 of your last 6 are short tracks, you're kind of like, okay.
Yeah. So
To be a short track, to be Logano and Ryan Priest right now, You
Right.
gotta go out there and perform, but you're probably feeling okay. Like, all
Yeah.
right, this
Yeah.
is a good set of tracks for us.
Right. But I could see different strategies for stage points to do as much as you can on like the Shane side of things, and because there's nothing to lose if you're SVG here. Like if you don't make the playoffs, nobody's like, the dude still has what 3 wins on the year.
2. Sonoma and
Watkins Glen.
Watkins Glen. Yes.
Got you. Yeah. 2 wins on the year, still a successful year for Shane. Like, and really solid on the top 10 front. So I think he's certainly improving, but it'll be exciting. And then you've got the in-season tournament, which we talked about Gilliland earlier. Gilliland and Elliott, and then Bell Blaney. So 2 Fords make the final 4 as we go to a short track. There's a powerhouse, and then there's this Elliott versus Gilliland, who's had, by the way, you guys are big March Madness guys. There's always like a Cinderella story that gets through, and I love that Todd Gilliland gets to be our Cinderella story.
This year.
But like he got Suarez.
Todd Gilliland is your other darling. Like,
oh, y'all
general,
know me. I have
on this podcast has been
y'all know
Finn's
me.
Finn's darling driver.
Listen, y'all know me. I love me some Todd Gilliland. So
Yeah.
I want to see him. I want to see him get an opportunity, man. Go give him a good car out there in North Wilkesboro. I don't know how he did last year at the in the All-Star race. He obviously wasn't in the All-Star race. He was in the Open. Let me see where he finished there. Winner. Here's this All-Star race. Hocevar won the Open. Oh, man, this is bad for Todd. He was 12th in the Open. Uh-oh. Right behind SVG. This could be bad news for the boys. And Elliott, where did Elliott finish in the All-Star? Now, granted, different package completely, but Elliott was 5th. So, yeah, that's a tough draw. It's going to be a Hendrick car as they're starting to figure some stuff out. But I'll be a Todd Gilliland fan this week. We have an in-season tournament for the boys today, by the way, too, our finale.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah, we are rolling into that part of the season now.
Yep.
What is our finale looking like, Finn?
So we've got TBD, who lost to JJ Franken last week, but JJ's not going to make it tonight. So he's going to be taking on C-Placing. So C-Place is kind of the obvious favorite. However, if you have been following along, let me talk a little bit about the 21 car on the stat side. Let me find him. Boom. TBD. Average finish of 7th this year. He did not make the race last week. That's why he got eliminated, but, we're giving him a chance to refight. Outside of one finish in 17th, his last couple have been 4th, 8th, 5th, 3rd, and 3rd. He's quick. Now, he's going to have to go up against C-Place, who also, average finish on the year is around 7th, 7.5. He's coming off an 8th, 7th, 8th, 3rd, 1st. And then a couple 16th place finishes, but 4th and 5th. It's like both of these guys are fantastic. C-Placing, his win came at Charlotte, a 1.5 mile track. So I think that's going to be a fun one to watch, as well as the normal heavy hitters of the league. Dinger Magic has won back-to-back races. Yeah, it's going to be a banger tonight. I'm super excited. We've got
Dinger's not racing tonight, by the way. I
No.
heard through the grapevine. No Dinger tonight.
No Dinger tonight. He's your championship leader by 31 points.
Yeah.
Or 21 points, sorry. 21 points over Warm Snugs. Then JJ, he's out tonight. Granted, everybody gets 3 drop weeks, so that shouldn't shake too many things up. But yeah, you're sitting there P6, man. You're in striking distance on these guys. But we've got a pretty exciting.
I'm in full on. I'm not winning the chip, but I'm trying to win a race. I am full. I don't care about stage points for the rest of the year. I don't care. I'm just trying to win.
To win a race. We've got 4
Don't
races
care.
on the year.
Don't care about the championship.
Kansas, Roval's next week, Iowa, and then Homestead.
Iowa is my best shot.
I-
That is my track.
There you go. It should be a fun one. So I'm super excited. We got good things going at IWP for sure. And then we prep for next year, man. I was doing a little poster today. I put this in the chat. We'll talk about it live here. What are you guys' thoughts on trying to do an Xfinity series on a Monday night in the middle of October? Probably tough to compete with Monday Night Football, you think?
It will be tough to compete with Monday Night Football. But I mean, that's the beauty of drop weeks. If your team's playing on Monday Night Football, just don't race. Watch the game. You'll be fine.
I think we'll see. I would like a scenario where it's Monday so that the guys that win can race on Tuesday. But if we have to do Xfinity on a Wednesday or something, then the guys from the previous Wednesday race get to race in this Tuesday. So,
cycle around,
yeah, we'll cycle it around. And it also gives them a week to practice in the Cup car before they show up to race. So that might end up working better.
Being better, yeah.
You know, or run them back to back, you know? We'll do the pod, and then we'll do Xfinity, and then it's called No Wraps. I don't know.
Let's go ahead and...
And then we'll do IndyCar at midnight. We'll do IndyCar
the whole night. Yeah, exactly.
Just take everybody's Tuesdays.
Formula 1 up at 3:30 in the morning.
Gee. But
we'll just kick everything off like 5 p.m. You know, it's like start the whole evening. Congratulations, your night is occupied.
It's the greatest. It's the greatest day in racing every Tuesday for the IW.
Yeah.
So we'll do it if in real life they won't do it.
Yeah, exactly. So all that being said, we got a lot of exciting stuff going on in our league. A lot of exciting stuff going on NASCAR wise, coming off of the just generally awesome race last week. Next week we've got North Wilkesboro.
No.
This is one of those races that I don't know, man. Like I love and support the resurrection of North Wilkesboro.
Oh, I thought you said of Jesus.
I have a lot of trouble getting hyped up for a North Wilkesboro race because it's one of those tracks where you are like we're talking highway traffic speeds through the majority of this race.
Yeah, right after Atlanta.
And yeah, that's kind of like
it's gonna look like it's in
I understand
slow motion.
I'm sure I'm not alone, but that's more of a me thing. And it's not that I have anything against short tracks. I love me some Bristol, and I enjoy Martinsville and stuff like that. North Wilkesboro is one where it's just so short that it gives me that same feeling that I had when we were doing the Clash at the Coliseum and that kind of thing, where it's just like, are we going to get up above 70 miles an hour today? Like, is it gonna, that's kind of the vibe I get from it, but it doesn't mean that it can't produce exciting racing. So,
well, boys,
there's a skill to it in general.
I mean, it might rain.
What?
You don't say.
On a NASCAR Sunday? Are you kidding me?
And the race is at 7 p.m., so you better watch out.
You don't say.
Well, shit, that's never happened before, man. We've never had
I say that because we won't probably...
on a race day?
We won't have a rain.
Time?
Listen. Oh, Jesus. Ticketmaster is actually freezing my whole PC. Holy shit. It's actually dropping frames. Holy fuck. Give me a second here. What in the hell, Ticketmaster? All right. Closing that. Ticketmaster is the worst. Whoever optimized that
smart graphic thing that they have on there is terrible.
Yeah. So, I mean, if we get the rain tires on, that might get going. Remember that New Hampshire race with the rain tires?
Yes, it was awesome.
So
but they're not going to do that.
Why not? Why not?
They're not going to do that.
Why not?
I think you could do rain tires
because they hate fun.
No, they don't hate fun. Throw the site. Listen,
they
will
Bristol
do it.
Dirt.
If they had the tires, they put the tires on. That's the thing with NASCAR, right? Liz, they have made it say their short tracks have rain tires, so that means we're not stopping a race for rain. We are pitting to put on rain tires. You have to make a decision. When should you put on tires? When should you take them off? We did it during the fucking snow. We can do it here, and I think that'll make that race interesting. Other than that, the 750 horsepower package, pretty gnarly. The 750 horsepower package with rain tires, pretty gnarly. I think it'd be interesting. That being said,
I'll bet money they don't do that.
They have to. Like, if it rains, they have to go to rain tires. There isn't like a we don't like, that's one of the tracks where rain tires is an opportunity. It's not like we will not do it this race and we'll, like, NASCAR has introduced
have to do it.
Yes, NASCAR has introduced rain tires to the short track package. So if there is rain, they put the tires on. There isn't a scenario of say, like, when was the last time a rain race or a short track got delayed by rain outside of like heavy rain where it's like literally puddling on the
lightning.
track? Right, lightning.
Yeah, I don't know.
It
I don't know
hasn't.
the answer to that.
I think it was Richmond.
You know what I mean? So those tracks, they have the rain tires, so that means that's NASCAR's go-to. There isn't like a scenario where they're not going to bring a rain tire to the track and then make a decision to delay the race. All it is a different set of tire. I don't know if there's like a contingent to, or why
I don't
there
know.
would be any contingent.
I'll tell you
that's
this:
the point.
it's great fun to watch them race in the rain on an oval
Because it's
It is
also
great
a
fun.
7 p.m. race. So what? They're going to delay for 3 hours when they haven't even lost the track because they can still race? No, they'll put the rain tires on. And that's where I think it would be fun. Because another Sunday night, 7 p.m.
I'm immediately more intrigued if we run into
If it rains, yeah.
Yeah, lock me in.
if it rains and we're running, that's where it is, because it, like, to both of y'all's point, yes, it could rain. It also could be too much, and we just put the rain tires on and go.
It's set to like light rain. It's for what it's worth. It's like 30 to 40% precipitation. So
right.
I want it to be enough rain where putting the rain tires on is faster, but also somebody's going to have to make that decision of who's going to put on the slicks first whenever a dry line comes in. And listen, give it to me. Give it to me.
That'll make North medium.
That'll make North
That's the good stuff.
Super
right
fun.
there. When you're
just hose it down. Honestly,
just hose it down.
Just don't wait for the rain. Just get the hose out, bro.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. It's Michael Waltrip, and he gets to have his thumb over the hose, and he gets to choose with the.
That's his special treat for that. That's the new special thing. Is Michael Waltrip now gets to put his thumb on the hose and spray the track a little bit.
Push the sprinkler button.
Wave to the fans.
Jesus Christ!
Oh, why they don't live squirrels in the car?
This has been Corey's.
Well, they tried live cats.
Advocacy.
They tried live cats, but Blaney fucking killed them all, so they can't do live animals on the track anymore.
They left those outside the car. That was the problem.
No, in the car, live squirrels.
Let's do that in Logano.
Yeah.
Hey, I saw a TikTok of a guy fishing the other day, and a fucking rattlesnake was in his lap on his boat, and he didn't realize it until he looked down. So, no, I couldn't do live animals, much less a rat or a rodent or a snake.
He didn't notice a snake crawling into his lap?
Nope. He's got a GoPro on his chest, and he's like looking around, going, and he's wearing like.
Is he in a kayak?
Yeah, he's like in a kayak, very thick gear.
Okay, I was about to say, like, what?
Yeah,
it's like a bass boat.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say he's probably got like waterproof gear on, like all the way up. You know,
and he just said he looked down, and you just see him like you can't see his head, but like you can see his chest kind of go down, and he's like, "Oh, fuck!" And he was very calm. Because if I found out that there was a rattlesnake on me, I would literally throw the snake at my daughter to get away. Get her! You know what I mean?
Cool.
I would sacrifice. I'd sacrifice you guys to get away from a snake. I swear to God. There's not much things I would do to get away from a snake.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
Throwing it at your daughter's a choice.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Like, so when I was,
that's why you have kids to sacrifice them when animals come.
Being out, because since I'm not used to being out west, when I was out there, like it's silly. There was no reason for me to do this while I'm like in a city. But like I was legitimately like a few times when I'm walking around outside in like downtown Reno, I'm keeping my eyes peeled on the ground for like rattlesnakes and scorpions, like just because I'm not used to like being in that area, but I'm not going to get caught off guard. You know what I mean? Like
Lieutenant Jim Dangle.
I'm in the middle of a damn like full metropolitan area. Like there's no, chance that like that's happening. But I'm like, there's just that little part of me that I'm like, man, if I see a hooked up tail or a freaking rattlesnake or hear that little sound anywhere, I'm losing my mind.
Wow, that's get a daughter, Jeff, and then sacrifice her to the snake so you can get away. You don't got to be fast.
Easier ways to go about this.
God, you don't got to be faster than the snake. You got to be faster than her.
I got to be faster than whoever's behind me.
That's faster than the skid. Don't be the slowest.
Everybody I was with, like the majority of those I bowled with that week were all like senior citizens. I would have gotten away.
Hey, that's even better, man. They've lived their life.
Jesus Christ.
Place 6 gonna be like, I'm not showing up to the Kansas meetup. They're like, why? You're like, because Finn will sacrifice me if something bad happens. Yes, I will. But
There's
is
a
there any
snake in my
is there any
boot.
wildlife in Kansas you need to be aware of? Like, I feel like it's just NATO's.
No, I
That's slang
believe
for
there's
tornado.
plenty of wildlife in Kansas. It makes up the majority of the population. Like it's, yeah.
Well, that's just because there's no
That's what you have
people
to
in
watch the
Kansas,
state for.
and that's because ants it's just ants outnumber humans in the world. So
Right.
So I don't know if we're gonna do the meetup in Kansas, or I feel like we should do the meetup closer to where me and Corey live in Fayetteville, North Carolina. Ain't that right?
Yeah, well, no.
Somewhere out east.
Sharknado, says Dilly in the chat.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready for racing?
Yeah, I think we're getting to be about that. We've reached silly season on the on everything else. Before we go, like just for for the sake of continuity, who's your pick for North Wilkesboro before we close this thing out?
My must have on my fantasy is going to be Ryan Preece. He needs it. It's his style of track. And they were fast at Bowman Gray. So I'm gonna say Ryan Preece is my your sneak, maybe more of a dark horse, but you should have him. They need it in a bad way. They've had this
Mine's
one
Kyle
circled.
Larson. Corey, what's yours?
There you go.
Blaney, back to back.
Back to back Blaney's. Okay. Interesting call.
He's
All right.
he's just screaming fast lately.
Yeah.
By the way, no mention of this. Ty Gibbs sitting in 4th in points.
Oh yeah, no. He had a good
Fourth.
sneaked a good finish out the other day, and he is in striking position. Totally.
I mean, dude, 8 top 5s is nothing to like scoff at when you're at that point. I mean,
Bro,
that's
he's a legitimate championship contender. Ty Gibbs.
yeah. Who would have thought we've been saying that right now?
Dude,
but I mean,
yeah.
One thing we have said though that has been mentioned before is that once he breaks through,
yes,
that we will see him catch fire, and that's what we've seen. I mean, we've saw like his win this year obviously opened the floodgates, and that's kind of what we expected to see is that once you break that seal,
yep,
it's
bad
time
fast.
to run. So
all 4 Gibbs cars in the top 10. So
exactly, which means it's a good day, especially with the 11 increase in his lead up on the front. But with that being the case, that's going to wrap things up for us this week. Please make sure you check us out on Twitch and YouTube under the name Intentional Rec. Check us out on your favorite audio platforms under the same name. Make sure you check out our website, intrecpod.com. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and join our Discord server so you can join the IWP Racing League, especially ahead of the NASCAR 26 season. And make sure that you check out all of our awesome threads and discussions about the current races and the standings and everything else for the IWP League before you get in. And we will catch y'all next week. Everybody have an awesome weekend.
See ya.